to break a soul tie. Sex, lies, and ungodly soul ties. Do you feel like you're stuck in a cycle of pain and destruction? Are you struggling with an unhealthy relationship? Hello there, Dr. Shaw here, and I know what it feels like to be trapped in a cycle of pain and destruction. I've been there, done that, and got the t-shirt to prove it. But more importantly, I've learned how to break free from an ungodly soul tie, and I got myself in position to receive the love God had for me and the man He designed just for me. In today's video, I'll be sharing 3 steps you can use to start your journey to freedom. So, grab a cup of coffee, a tea, and let's talk. In 2016, I wrote a book titled Soul Ties Unchain My Heart. And in this book, I share my personal story of being in an ungodly soul tie and then breaking free and getting in position to receive the love I desired and live life with the man I deserve. After writing that book, I began traveling the country, hosting a symposium titled The Soul of a Woman. And what I'm sharing with you today is part of the information I shared during this symposium. The book starts out, how did I get there? Why can't I shake this man? He treats me like less than a person, but I keep going back to him. Why do I keep going back? That's a question many women ask themselves when they are involved in an ungodly relationship. And guess what? There are many women today dealing with ungodly soul ties and don't know how to break free. Romans 7:19 says, "For I do not do the good I want to do, but the evil I do not want to do, this I keep on doing." And that's from the New International Version. Most of us want to do what's right. But when temptation stares us in the face, it becomes a matter of who's stronger, our natural man or our spiritual man. Often it's our flesh, and that's why I tell the story of a woman named Teresa and how she died to her flesh as a result of being in that ungodly relationship. Question: what is a soul tie? Let me start by saying we are 3-part beings: body, soul, and spirit. The soul consists of our mind, our will, and our emotions. And a soul tie can be either physical, which is created as a result of sex, or emotional, which is created as a result of intimate conversations. Question: why would a woman keep going back to a man who disrespects her? I'm glad you asked. Often it's because she has created a soul tie and does not know how to break free. Question: how is a soul tie formed? A soul tie usually begins as an emotional connection, stemmed from hours and hours of intimate conversations, like sharing details about your life, your hopes, and your dreams with someone you believe is as invested in the relationship as much as you are. These conversations go on for months and sometimes years, and you begin opening your heart to this person because you believe he is the one. And then the unthinkable happens. Oops, there goes my shirt up over my head, and then wham bam, thank you ma'am. I understand. You thought it was just a physical connection, a hookup, or a one-night stand, but it was more than that. It was a spiritual connection too. 1 Corinthians 6:16 says, "What? Know ye not that he which is joined to an harlot is one body? For two, saith he, shall be one flesh." Your bodies did not just collide physically. They collided spiritually as well. Because sex is not just a physical act that takes place with our bodies. It is a mental and spiritual act as well. Look at the last part of the verse I just read. It says, "For two, saith he, shall be one flesh." What two? You and him. It doesn't say anything about husband and wife. It said a harlot. And in this verse, the word harlot is used to represent someone with a greedy spirit. And the definition of greed is expressing excessive desire. Oh my. Now, where else do we read the words become one? Let me tell you. Genesis 2:24. Matthew 9:5-6. Ephesians 5:31. Mark 10:8. Matthew 19:5. That's just a few scriptures, but they are referring to husband and wife becoming one after marriage. I'll have to dive deeper into the harlot spirit in another video. When you have intercourse with someone who you are not married to, you become one with that person and your mind begins relating the physical act of sex as love because our will and emotions are rooted in our mind. Remember I said we are three-part beings: body, soul, and spirit. And our soul consists of our will. Romans 7:19, the things I wish to do. That's our will. Our mind is also part of our soul. And our mind houses our thought life. And now that sexual act starts replaying in your mind, and you start thinking about what he said, and then your emotions, which is also a part of our soul being. Emotions like fear, disgust, anger, surprise, happiness, and sadness. Usually one or some of these kick in, and then you become entangled, like Jada said about her relationship with that young man. And every time you are physically intimate with this person, the soul tie connection gets stronger and stronger until you become like the character in my book. And you begin thinking, I'm like a crack addict. I've got to have it. So why is it so hard to break free of a soul tie? Breaking a soul tie is difficult because remember I said we are three-part beings: body, soul, and spirit. And I keep saying this because I want you to really understand what's happening. The body serves the soul. The soul serves the spirit. And the spirit serves God. If my mind tells me something was good to it, then it wants my body to continue serving it that good thing. So Patricia, I hear all this that you're saying. Now, what I really need to know is, how do I break free from an ungodly soul tie? Thank you for asking. I'm glad you did. I'm Dr. Patricia Shaw, and I began on this journey to inspire the soul of a woman, gently nudging her to overcome her limiting beliefs so she could attract a life partner who fulfills her heart and needs on every level. As a Christian relationship coach, I help lead women to their definition of relationship success so they can find rapture in the warm embrace of love rather than fearing. Relationships have the ability to raise us up and elevate our being to new heights, but only if they are entered into with readiness and intention. Until next time, take care.